As we are preparing to celebrate the Chinese New Year, New Balance and other brands as well are bringing a few releases on the market which will celebrate this tradition. So in today's video we're gonna have a look at one of it, which is coming from New Balance. Hello guys and welcome back for a brand new review. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing and also giving me a like. It will really help out the channel. You can also give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok to see exactly what I'm going to review in the next few days. In today's video guys, we're going to have a look at the latest drop coming from New Balance, which will celebrate this Lunar New Year. So let's go ahead and take them out of the box, which as you can see this time will come in a very interesting color blocking in this mint to green colorway, which will have the usual New Balance logo here on top, which this time will be in this cream color. But rather than that, this is actually quite a simple box. So let's go ahead and just take the shoes out guys. So in today's video guys, we're gonna have a look at this new release coming from New Balance for this warped range for this Lunar New Year. In case you are not familiar with the Lunar New Year guys, this is gonna be the Chinese New Year, which this year will be on the 10th of February. So alongside this New Balance release, also the Jordan brand has dropped a lot of these releases, which will be the Dragon's Year for 2024. So New Balance has brought, besides this warped release, few other releases for which I will try to get them in to give you a review. But for today we're gonna have a look at this warped release, which for sure will be a bit different, at least comparing with the previous ones. Of course the design will be roughly the same. This Lunar New Year will just be represented by some slightly different materials and color blocking, but the actual paneling will be completely the same. So this one actually dropped here in the UK for the retail price of £155, which will make it around $175 US, which I would say that considering the materials which we are getting, it's gonna be a decent pricing, but of course I would prefer it to be slightly bit lower. So let's go ahead and also do a breakdown of this one guys. So as you can see, for this upper we're gonna have a mix of just two materials. One of it will be this woven material which feels like a ripstop, and this one of course will come in this black color, and it will also act as a base layer for the whole upper as well. So on top of this woven material, we're also gonna have this black no-back material, which will be present here at the front, covering most of this section. This one will also be present here at the lacing system and also just below it as a mud guard. Of course, this one will also be present partially here at the ankle section and heel section as well. But as you can see, just above the heel section, this one will come in a dark gray colorway. As in for the actual lacing system, for this one we're just gonna have your normal punch out holes, which will keep in place these rather chunky ash laces. And just underneath these laces guys, we're gonna have a very well padded tongue, which will be made out of a very nice mesh material, which surprisingly enough won't have the New Balance logo here at the top. Continuing in the midfoot guys, on both sides we're gonna have this N letter, which this time will come in this rubberized material. Going now inside of the shoe guys, for this one we're gonna have this slightly mint color for this lining, which underneath will have a decent amount of padding but nothing special. And as you can see at the bottom guys, we're gonna have a very thick foam insole in this mint color, which will have embroidered here at the heel section the New Balance logo, which for sure looks quite nice. So now guys, we can go to this gray to bluish midsole, which will be a fuel cell one, which will have a very minimalistic design, but for sure as this one it's actually quite high. I feel that the level of comfort given by this one it's actually quite good, and of course this one will come from this fuel cell, which was used in the last couple of years in the running shoes coming from New Balance, but it seems that this one transitioned now to this lifestyle shoe. So for sure I feel that this one is actually quite comfortable underfoot and also not heavy at all. So now guys, we can finish with this rubber outsole in this gray and white color, which it really seems to replicate a rubber outsole which is coming from Nike for those Tempo, if I'm not mistaken. For sure the design is actually quite interesting, and this one also has exposed here in the midfoot and also at the heel section this fuel cell material. As in for the actual sizing guys, for me as I have a skinny feet, for this one I just went with my true to size and this one fits me just fine, and I would say that it's gonna be roughly the same for people with normal feet, but just in case you have wide feet guys, most definitely I would suggest you to go with at least a half size up, just to make sure that this one is not gonna be too tight for you. For sure I really feel that the front part of the shoe and also the heel section will actually be quite narrow. So overall guys, this latest release coming from New Balance, which will celebrate this Lunar New Year, in my opinion it's looking actually quite good, and as expected the materials won't be too different. The only thing which is actually changed, that is comparing with a normal warped release, will be this mesh material, which really replicates like a ripstop. But rather than that, I would say that the materials, it's something usual coming from New Balance, which for sure they are good, and I would say that for 155 pounds guys, the materials are good, the design it's also nice as well, but for sure I find that other ranges coming from New Balance will look a bit better. But I would say that overall we are actually paying this price for this fuel cell midsole, which for sure feels actually quite good underfoot. But for sure I feel that this one it's actually a very stealthy release coming from New Balance, where the actual branding is barely noticeable. And I would say that out of all of these releases coming for this warped range, I actually like the most the first one, which dropped in that cream colorway. So for sure I will try to get that one in quite soon for a review. So yeah guys, this was my unboxing and reviewing of this brand new release coming from New Balance for this warped Lunar New Year release. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to press the like button, maybe also subscribe to the channel. You can also give me a follow on Instagram and TikTok to see exactly what I'm going to review in the next few days. Of course, if you want to have a look at any of my other reviews coming from New Balance, you can choose from any of the videos which you have now on the screen. And as always, I will see you in my next one. Thanks for watching!